Oh my gosh. See, that's what I get. My mic was muted that whole opening. Okay, so let's restart, shall we? Hello, everybody. This is a Friday night podcast, and this is my hard launch too. My soft launch was better than this. Okay, so as I was saying before, it is Friday night. I am here to entertain you while you get stuff done. I've already started hustling and bustling on a bunch of stuff, but go get your laundry, go get that to-do list that needs to get done. If you're cooking dinner, move me into the kitchen so I can entertain you, because that's what I'm going to do for the next 10-15 minutes before we do a 20-minute sprint to keep us entertained or keep us busy. I entertain, I keep you busy. You know what I mean. Anyway, I do this because honestly, I love this time. It gets me in my head a little bit more organized, and I get things done. And I'm hoping to be able to help you guys out with that too. Maybe next time when I start, I won't have the mic muted. You know, we'll see what happens next Wednesday. Anyway, so what we do here is 4 20-minute sprints. We'll see what happens. It might actually only be 2 because it is Friday night. I might only do an hour. It depends. We'll see. We'll see how things go, considering, again, I'm sorry, I'm stuck. I'm cracking up on the fact that I had my mic muted. That's what I get. But anyway, so I am working on my to-do list, as I was saying, when I realized my microphone was muted. I am working on my to-do list for my book. Somehow, some way, last night in my sleep, even though I didn't sleep well, my brain did some major reorganization and categorization, and yeah, I now have a plan on how I'm going to put all the information together and sort through it so that I have it set for me to basically review and edit my final draft. That's what I'm going to be working on. It's just literally pages of random notes that are just I have to fill out and put in a nice little binder. I have 3 of these now. So anyway, why don't we get the first 20-minute sprint started? We'll see if people end up coming in, because it is kind of quiet. But I can understand that because it's also Friday night and it's a 3-day weekend. I'm so excited about that. No, I don't have any plans. And I'm actually super stoked on that because, okay, so short recap of the last, 9 months, the first year. So in February, I shattered my ankle bone. About 3 weeks later, I got a root canal that ended up getting infected. The whole time I am trying to save money and reaccumulate everything I lost because I left a domestically violent relationship that I didn't realize how bad it was until I got out of it. And that person, I moved to Virginia on a bus in the middle of the night with 2 suitcases and a backpack. And that person ended up selling all my stuff out from underneath me. So I have been trying to reaccumulate and gather back everything that I lost. It took me a year and a half, but I did it. And I think I did better than I know I did better than what I had before. So that's where I've been for the last year, pretty much, is just getting stuff done. Then once everything healed and I was back on track and I had the money, and I started apartment shopping literally in May, and I didn't move until July. I wasn't like, my move out date was like August 1st or August 7th, something like that. So I wasn't in a rush to move out, and I had saved the money. So I was, good and set to go. Well, Kibby decided to do a little bit of compromise, which ended up not being a good idea. Because I thought, you know what, I'll go for a little bit cheaper of a rent and, and end up being able to put more into my savings, and it'll work. I might have to live in a little bit further from work, or, maybe not such a good neighborhood, but it'll be fine. Like, my sanctuary is within my home. So as long as my internals of my house was fine, I could deal with it. I've lived in some pretty bad places already in my life. I was homeless at one point, and yeah, You sleep in a homeless encampment in a tent and see how well you do. Anyway, so I was super stoked. So I just figured I'd find a little studio apartment that would be the perfect little niche, and it wouldn't cost me an arm and a leg, and I'd be able to put like twice as much into savings that I planned. Sometimes things don't always turn out the way you plan, but I can say this: God works in mysterious ways. And my whole life, I used to take 2 steps forward and 1 step back, as my mom used to put it. She was like, it's always 2 steps forward, or 2 steps forward, 1 step back. And sometimes it was 1 step forward and 2 steps back. But for the first time in my life, I've been dealing where instead of taking a step back, I'm kind of stuck at a stalemate. And then I'm able to move forward like 3 or 4 steps. And it's happened twice now. It happened with my job it happened with this relation, three times now. The relationship with the move and the environment I ended up putting myself in. It happened when I dealt with the job situation last year in September and left one job and found my dream job within a week. And then the third time is this situation where the first apartment I found was, they let me out of the lease. But I ended up finding like what I consider the perfect little house. I mean, I even have a little den. It's a 1-bedroom, and I even have a little den that is obviously my office. So it turned like I've been noticing this pattern, and I hope it continues, but Mercury is in retrograde, and Mars, I saw this on my calendar, Mars is about to go into retrograde as well. So even though Venus is coming out of retrograde today, we still, I mean, there was a point there that we had, I think, all like 7 or 9 planets in retrograde at the same time. It was insane. It was like, yeah, you're just screwed. Like, there's nothing you can do. But right now things are shifting, and I couldn't be happier. So let's get the clock up, and let's get it set for our little 20-minute mark. And we'll go ahead and start this little sprint of ours, because I really want to get some work done. So, are you ready? Oh, I don't care that don't you love iCloud sometimes? And Surrey, I don't even want to talk about Surrey, as I worry about my phone popping up. Anyway, you ever wonder if they're listening? Just accidentally say the wrong word that sounds like their name. Anyway, in 3, 2, 1, start! And don't forget to mute yourself. This time I promise I'll unmute myself when I come back. Welcome back, everybody. It is the end of our 20-minute sprint. I was fairly productive. It doesn't seem like I was, but I know that I was because I'm sure you guys saw me flip-flopping my book around. So I have a lot of notes that have to go into a lot of different places because I have a lot of different characters in my book, and I'm just now realizing that. Like, I have a lot of characters in my book. Anyway, I hope all of you were productive and doing well. And, maybe got that laundry done, maybe got that food in the oven, maybe crossed off maybe one or two things on that to-do list that you had to do. I was able to cross off that much of my list. Doesn't seem like a lot, but again, it's because it has to go in so many different places. So basically, what I'm doing here is for each character, this is kind of where my psychic interferes with my book and everything, because my book is based off dreams I've had since I was a kid. And actually, I've been wanting to show it for a long time, and I have it out because, well, I have my own place now. So hold on. So it kind of fell apart because, well, I've had this book since I was like 18. So I'm going to try to go like this. So there, as you can see, there's a lot of notes. From the first page, as you can tell, there's like a lot of different colored inks, and it goes like that for multiple pages with drawings and all that. I have to get the book rebinded. I really need to get the book rebinded, honestly, because I miss it. But it's even titled The World of My Dreams. So what was happening is when I was about 18 or 19 years old, look at all that. Yeah. The pool scene. It's the whole thing, guys. Well, except for the back. I left a little bit in the back so I could keep doing dreams. But then I have this stuff in the back too. I was starting to have the kind of dream, these very, very intense, very vivid, very overwhelming dreams, to the point that, well, I couldn't sleep. I was so afraid of going to bed that I wouldn't sleep. And there was a point when I ended up staying up for a week straight, 7 days straight. And I mean, this was before I drank coffee, this was without drugs. This was literally dead sober. I stayed up for a week straight because I was so afraid to go to sleep. And so my boyfriend at the time suggested to me that I should start writing them down, because he asked me, there was one night we were crawling into bed, and I was so hesitant, and he could tell. And he was just like, what's going on with you? And I said, I'm afraid to go to sleep. And he's like, why? And I said, because my dreams, they're so vivid. And I'm afraid, I'm scared of them. They're so real. He said, why don't you start writing them down? So I did. And it started with just like little shorthand notes to like get them out of my head. So with little pictures so that I could get them out of my head. But I realized that as I started writing them down, they started repeating again and again. The same dreams over and over and over again just started repeating. But then they started changing. There were subtle changes that were occurring. And in those subtle changes are all of the pen marks that you see. And every time there's something added in, that's something I noticed in my dream or I found out later. And this whole stack right here is what my entire book is based off of. And it literally started just like that. And I have expanded to a full-on novel, and it's going to probably end up being 3 books in one. And I've titled it The Roseland Chronicles because when I was telling one of my friends the story and the dreams, he looked at me and he was just like, that's not a book, that's a chronicle. And I was like, Roseland Chronicles. Actually, I think he came up with it, and I was like, can I use that? He's like, sure. So that's what it turned into. Actually, he called it the Rose Chronicles. And I'm like, I like the Roseland Chronicles because the family name. But anyway, hi, Cora. I'm sitting here kind of talking to myself. Hello, my dear. How are you? Hello. There is, well, I'm an everyone and everybody that comes to watch the stream later. But what if you want to let me know what you've been up to? I was about to stop my jibber jabbering and move into another sprint. I'm only going for an hour today because yeah, it's Friday and a 3-day weekend, and I have a bottle of wine sitting in my fridge waiting for me with cookies, and I have a really good movie set up that I bought. I splurged a little bit and bought a movie. So I have it's kind of sad. I have big plans for myself tonight, all by myself. And that's the way it will be until I get a girlfriend. That's okay. So Cora, I hope you are getting better. I got your message and I'm so happy for you. And I kind of told, I think I said, well, I don't know. I don't remember. You have to refresh my memory what I said about what was going to happen with the last text message that you sent me. Because I don't, for some reason, I can't remember. I'm still relaxing because covering, yes, that, the stint. See, I wasn't sure if you wanted me to mention anything on public. But yeah, do you remember if because for some reason I'm remembering that I said that you're not going to be getting the stint put back in. Like there's something about your angel saying, oh no, we're done. No, we're done with the stint. We're done with it. The stint is actually causing all the other problems. And as soon as she gets it out, she'll start feeling better. But I just want to verify because, oh my gosh, the things that I've had go on since the last time I talked to you on the phone. But I'm glad that you're home and recovering. And yay, I get to entertain you. Hello. You said no new stint and there is no more stint. Yep. Okay. That's what I remember. Like, that's what I thought I remembered saying. But you know how much chaos my life has been for the last little bit. So, but we're going to jump into a sprint. I don't know if you're working or if you're actually relaxing because I know you. And even though you say you're relaxing, you might actually also be working because, yeah, that's just how you are. So, but we're going to jump into another sprint because I have a little bit more work to do. And that's what I'm here to do, is be productive because I have a lot of work to catch up on. I have 6 months worth of work to catch up on, and I'm a month behind on it. So, all right. So we're going to jump into a sprint. I'm going to add it here. We're going to zoom. Zoom, zoom. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Okay. Zooming. All right. So 20 minutes on the clock. And we are just taking care of the boys during the sprint. All right. We'll give them, shove their faces full of food and stick them in front of the TV. You got 20 minutes to do it. And then you can come back and chit chat with me. All right. All right. In 3, 2, 1, go. And don't forget to mute yourself. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, binaries, non-binaries, non-identifying, transgender, whatever you want to call yourself. I'll call you my rosebuds, because rosebuds come in every sex, every gender, every color, every whatever. So y'all are my rosebuds. So, and if anybody wants to figure out what they want to call themselves, you're more than likely. You're more than welcome. Anyway, how did you do? I did well. I was able to actually get down to where I'm putting in new characters now, not just filling out information that I am acquired or accumulated from other prior locations. So I've started on, that is where I am. My brain is literally, I have 120 things going off in my brain, and I think I need to go take a break. So actually, since I said I was only going to go an hour anyway, I think it's time for me to go take my meds, have a glass of wine, and call it a night. Because, guys, I have literally been busting my butt for 9 months straight, and I'm ready to just sit down and have a glass of wine and watch a movie and not have to stress on killing bugs or a mouse or a leaking faucet or the refrigerator breaking down or having to figure out where I can get food that won't attract anything. Oh God, it was hell. It was literally hell. I've never been in a place like that before in my life. Anyway, so still trying to take care. Still trying. Oh, you like rosebuds? I like rosebuds too, because you're like my buds, but I'm KibbyRose. Still trying to take the demands from these children. You know what? Don't let them demand you. Don't let them control you. Or they're going to get used to doing it. And you got another one on the way, honey. So anyway, no, I know. You're actually a good mom. But anyway, see, I'm not a mom. I'm not a parent. Don't take advice from me. I'm just, I like being Auntie Christy. Don't get me wrong. I love kids. Just, I like giving them back too. But anyway, and no, I don't mind changing dirty diapers. That's not my thing. My thing is I barely have enough energy for myself, let alone a child. And I can barely keep myself So anyway, its needs they are asking for drinks and food. Oh, they don't need that. No, just give them, just send them energy. That's they feed off of that. It's fine. They don't need it. If you feed them, they just get hyper. I mean, that's something my mom used to tell my babysitters. If you don't want her to run around, don't feed her. After 6 o'clock, I wasn't allowed to eat. And they're not wrong. Or she wasn't wrong. My mom's still not wrong on that. I have to be careful if I eat late, because if I eat late, I'm up. Anyway, so you go take care of the demands of the little ones of foods and drinks. And for the rest of you, I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for coming in and helping me out, joining me in this little quest. Sorry about the muted mic at the beginning of the stream. That's what happens when you're not used to doing this. I should have just called Wednesday my hard launch. That thing went off without a hitch. I mean, that was a great stream. Anyway, but I will see you guys next Wednesday and next Friday, because I'm doing it. Every Wednesday and Friday, I am streaming. That's what I'm doing. I've got to get these lists done. But if you liked what you saw here, go ahead and like and subscribe and hit that little icon thingy down there. It actually does help the channel, surprisingly. YouTube can be such a stickler. And also double check and make sure you're subscribed. It's been a while since I've been here. It's been a while since I've been back. And from my own personal experience, I know YouTube can boot you from channels, even if you watch them regularly. Even if you were a moderator for them at one point. Anyway, so have a great night. Happy Friday. Enjoy your 3-day weekend for all of us laborers. And I will see you guys next time. Bye. Why isn't it ending? Did it end? It won't let me end my broadcast. This is very interesting. Boy, we have just been having errors all day, haven't we?